Big Brother 27 houseguest Mickey Lee in critical condition after suffering cardiac arrest. Former Big Brother houseguest Mickey Lee is in critical but stable condition after suffering a series of cardiac arrests. Lee competed in Big Brother 27, which aired earlier this year, and finished in 10th place. The news was posted on Lee's Instagram, where it was explained that she recently suffered a series of cardiac arrests following complications from the flu and is now in the ICU in critical but stable condition. She has been surrounded by medical professionals and loved ones, but the road ahead will be long and challenging. A link to a GoFundMe page was included, as funds need to be raised for medical expenses not paid by insurance, ICU and specialist care, rehabilitation and recovery support, along with family travel, lodging, and other related costs. As of this writing, $16,842 has already been raised, which is 77% of the $22,000 goal. In addition to the donation page, prayers, positive energy, and healing thoughts for Mickey were requested, along with sharing the fundraiser page with other fans, friends, and community members. Mickey has touched so many lives through her courage, bold personality, and unforgettable presence on Big Brother. Let's show her the same love and support now when she needs it most. Numerous members of the Big Brother 27 cast commented underneath the post and wished her well, including messages from Jimmy Hegarty, Lauren Domingue, Adrian Rocha, and Catherine Woodman. Big Brother 26 houseguests Chelsea Bayham, Quinn Martin, and Leah Peters also commented with their best wishes. Big Brother legend and Season 27 houseguest Rachel Riley posted on X prayers and thoughts for Mickey and shared the link to the original message, as did Season 27's Morgan Pope. As confirmed by the fundraising page, the 35-year-old Lee is from Jacksonville, Florida and now lives in Atlanta, Georgia. She is an event curator who quickly gained recognition on Big Brother 27 for her vibrant, strategic, and unforgettable personality that captured the attention of fans with her energy, authenticity, and bold gameplay. Big Brother 27, Morgan Pope on her biggest move, breaking records and more. Morgan Pope was a competition beast on Big Brother 27. She won 5 Power of Vetoes and 2 Head of Household competitions. This gave her the record of most consecutive weeks immune with 7, meaning she kept herself safe for 7 weeks in a row. She formed many alliances that kept her safe throughout the game and won when she needed to. She also got close to Vince Panaro in the house and stayed loyal him until the end. Although she became the last juror of the season, Morgan still has a lot to be proud of. Morgan talked to TV Insider about keeping her real profession a secret, Ashley cutting her relationship with Vince, and more. So I'm going to start off by saying, I don't know if you know this, but you now hold the record for the most consecutive rounds immune with 7. That means you were safe for 7 weeks in a row. That is the most since Ian Terry in season 14 with 5. Did you ever think that you would hold a record like that going into the game? No. It's funny because I remember when I won my vetoes in a row, and everyone's like, oh, you're on KC, Clark, status right now. And I'm like, you're going to compare me to KC, like what? And then when I couldn't win that 4th veto, at least I'll be compared to, not necessarily compared to KC, because she won the game, but the fact that they even mentioned her name next to mine, I was like, wow. But to think that I have a record I didn't even know that. I'm just learning this now. That is wow. I am shocked, honored, blessed, humbled. Like that is insanity. I don't know what came over me. I just kept going with momentum. I was just unstoppable, and I'm so proud of myself. Ashley decided to cut you in the final 3. Were you shocked by that? Did you think it was going to happen? It's hard because her and I's conversations were always us going to the final 2 together. And I think that was under the impression that she was not going to win the final HOH, that I was going to. It'd be smart for me to take her and not Vince, which was obviously a tactic for her, because I feel like I could have won either way. It probably would have been more of a landslide against Vince than against Ashley, which is why I was very torn. Even now, part of me feels like I would have taken Ashley, because I know I would have beat her, but I could have taken Vince to beat him too. But it was hard, because when she won, and I was holding her hand on the way out and telling her how proud I was of her and congratulating her, part of me just had this feeling that I was going to be the last juror. And it's like when things are out of your control, you can't let it get the best of you. I always stand by the fact, when you try to control something, it controls you. So I knew in that moment that I could look back and leave this house being proud of the game that I played, and even if I didn't win this game, I do believe that people are going to remember the game that I played, and when they hear Big Brother 27 they might even mention my name before Ashley. I mean, like it's something that I know that while I didn't win the game, I was the best in the game, and I'm very flattered by that, and I'm honored to hold that title, if you will. Being a seventh juror, you got to cast a vote, and you were the sole vote for Vince. Was that in spite of Ashley or were you just being loyal to Vince? Yeah, no, it was definitely not in spite of Ashley. Ashley cooked in her speech. I said it before, I was like, she cooked him like a well-done steak. I was so proud of her, truly. And it was hard, because I remember when I was jostling the keys in the bag, I kept going back and forth between Ashley and Vince, and I was just like, I played this whole game with Vince. I'm one of the only people who knows his story and knows how much this meant to him, and I know that if roles were reversed, he would have voted for me. So it was just one of those ways of saying thank you for playing this game with me, and the fact that we didn't go after each other when we had so many times where we could have, and I know he would have done the same for me. So just one of those ways where it's just like, he wasn't gonna win. He knew he wasn't going to win, and I would not take back the vote. I mean, it was just that was my best friend in the house, and what one way to say thank you, than to send him a vote, kind of like what I did in week 10, where I took Ava, Pearl, off the block. Ava was safe no matter what, she wasn't going to go home. It was more of the fact of me saying thank you to her for saving me in week 7, sitting next to Riley Jeffries, on a 5-4 vote. It's just like the little gestures to me mean a lot. And I had already told Ashley before leaving the house that I love her. I mean, I hugged her and told her how proud I was of her and that she deserved to win. I hope she doesn't think any differently about my vote. And she's like, girl, I knew you were gonna vote for Vince. That's all good. Like she didn't care. So she understood my intention, and she even knew, even in the house, that I told her if Vince was on the block finale night, etc., like, in the top 2, would I be allowed to vote for him? No, but would anybody be surprised if I vote for him also? No. You were just saying you were loyal to Vince and best friends with him in the house the whole time, but you told Julie, Chinmunvez, that you would have taken Ashley. Yes, I was going to take Ashley because the thing is I think a lot of people thought that I wouldn't have it in me to do it. But I know that if I really wanted to put the nail in the coffin, I earned this win, and I deserve to win. Because if I were going against Ashley's speech, people might have been like, oh, she's cooking. But if I were to win and take out my #1 ally and best friend, that shows that I came to play a game, not to play a game of best friends. We're playing Big Brother, not Big Bestie. What do you think was your biggest move of the season? I think my biggest move this season is probably what everyone already knows, but I'm going to say it anyway, was using the veto on Ava. Vince had his 3 targets up on the block, but I only had a pawn, or, well, it was an ally. Ava was an ally. Kelly Jorgensen was the target, and Keanu Soto was my shield, so that block was not stacked the way that I needed to be stacked. And I know Vince valued our game relationship a lot, and he knew that if he didn't make the decision that I wanted him to make, that we probably wouldn't be working together, and he would be an even bigger target in the house, and he wasn't really willing to risk that, which was smart, because I would have had no choice but to go against him if he was trying to keep Lauren in the house. I know, using that veto and giving him all the best possible, pros of why Lauren should touch that block, and she did, it was the best move that I had at the game, because it's instilled this distrust between Lauren and Vince. So that was just check #1 of making sure that Vince got closer to me and not to Lauren, because I know he was kind of working both of us because he wanted the final 3 to be us 3, because he would have gone to the finals regardless. So, that way, with that distrust, like when I won, it's just I knew what to do. Like, there was already enough mistrust there. I had enough votes to send her home. And it just kind of worked as a 1-2 checkpoint. You just said that you knew that Vince was working with you and Lauren. You found out he had a final 2 with Lauren. Did you ever think of putting him up or maybe team up with Lauren and get Vince out because he was playing both of you? Kind of. Lauren was not trusting of me because of the way my early game was, where a lot of people said I couldn't be trusted, and all this, even though I proved that I was an honest and loyal player. All you had to do was have a conversation with me. I told Lauren straight up, if Keanu was your target, on your HOH, you kind of stacked the block, I was your target, which I was. Let's call a spade a spade. We're gonna have a woman-to-woman talk. So, for me, I knew working with Lauren was not in the cards. For me, neither of us was interested, because I had extended so many opportunities for her to work with us. And I do feel like the smart move for her would have been to work with Vince, and I. We would have protected her, and she would have been able to kind of skate underneath, just like Ashley did. Ashley basically took the opening that Lauren